artificial intelligence series, we are going to talk about Azure OpenAI. In the previous video, we did understand what exactly it is. It was a decent, a wonderful overview. But in today's video, what we are going to do, we are going to see a little further into Azure OpenAI. All right, so here is the Azure portal, and we're gonna write here Azure OpenAI. Azure OpenAI. Here it is. You can see the sign right here. All right. So the first step in building a generative AI solution with Azure OpenAI is to provision an Azure OpenAI resource. And where will that be? Well, of course, that would be in our subscription, right? And that's how it looks like. This is our Azure OpenAI service currently with limited access. Okay, I'll show you how. All right, so if you click on here, if you see all the AI related services are available right here, but Azure OpenAI is something that we are interested in for our series. So if I click here, you see right here, we need, just like any other resource in Azure, we need to provide the resource group and the pricing tier. But here it says Azure OpenAI service is currently available to customers through an application form. The selected subscription has not been enabled. So I'm not fortunate enough to have this, but what I did, I just clicked here on the request to access the Azure, and I have just submitted it. Okay. Well, hope so. I would have this access, but when I was submitting it, it was saying a lot of other things, which makes me skeptical whether I would have the access or not. Because if you see the form, it is mostly for the enterprise people, and it strictly says a lot of things. Azure OpenAI models, US government, this one, and all the organization subscription ID where you want these models to be enabled and your company name, street address, company city. Though I tried to fill all of it through my own blog website and YouTube link with MCT credential if they can help me. But I hope so. Let's see what else we can do. But because there is a challenge doesn't mean we should stop learning, right? So there is one more interesting thing in Azure OpenAI is the Azure OpenAI Studio. Yes, that's the best part of Azure OpenAI. Because Studio gives you the user interface, the GUI kind of thing so that you can work rather than going into a different kind of approach, just like any other studio that Microsoft provides us through Azure. We have storage, we have for SQL, we have for data. Similarly, we have here Azure OpenAI Studio. The what would say? Okay, let me close this one, and we need to open this one. Right, here it is. This is oai.azure.com/portal. Yes, this is the Azure OpenAI Studio. But since I do not, it will, when you go here, it will ask for your directory that you want to connect it. But since we do not have the access, it says request access to Azure OpenAI service. We have submitted the form as I showed you, but that's how the studio is. And it is in the preview. A lot of things are in the preview or public preview. So we need to create resource, but since we don't have the access, we cannot. That's the reason I have opened this pane for you. This is Microsoft documentation where we can at least have the feeling how it looks like. This is Azure AI Studio, and that's how it looks like. And this Open AI Studio provides access to model management, deployment, experimentation, customization, and learning resources. Well, do not worry, I talked so many points here. We'll talk about it all. all these features. Uh, so let me try to explain this studio a little bit, because Azure Open Studio is a platform designed, or maybe comprehensive platform designed to simplify the use of Azure OpenAI services, enabling developers and data scientists to manage, deploy, experiment, and customize AI models, right? So, what exactly model management is? Well, it is the ability to manage the various AI models, including version control and monitoring their performance. Imagine you're working on multiple chatbot projects for different departments within your company. Azure OpenAI Studio lets you manage each chatbot model, track their updates, and monitor their interactions quality over time. And deployment, well, it provides you option to easily deploy AI models into production environment. Let's take an example. If let's suppose you have developed a new AI model that summarizes customer reviews. With Azure OpenAI Studio, you can deploy this model to start analyzing feedback on your website automatically, helping you quickly gather insights without manual review. All right, so let's uh, simplify this Open Studio by breaking it down to playground and management, two sections. So playground in the playground here gives these three options: chat, completion, and Delhi. Well, think of this playground as a creative and experimental space where you can directly interact with AI models without needing to write any code, right? That's the beauty of studios, all different studios that Microsoft provides. So you can interact with AI models without needing to write any code. It's like having a sandbox where you can build your testing environment, test ideas without any specific goal in mind, and keep exploring, learning. Right. So if you talk about in chat, because it has three environment, but if you talk about chat, this is where you can have a conversation with the AI. You type something and the AI responds like texting with a friend who knows a lot about many topics. Just like that. The way we have the previous examples in our this series, the chat GPT and all. So that kind of what a chat is. And the completion is more like completion, like you say something and it will complete it. Things like that. Like imagine you started a sentence or a paragraph and then let the AI finish it for you. It's great for generating text, coding, or even creating content ideas. Use it when you need help completing a piece or of writing or code. Delhi is all about images. It's like a magical drawing tool. You describe an image you have in mind, and Delhi tries to create it for you. And if we talk about management studio, we have a couple of things here too. With the playground is for experimentation. The management section is like the control room for overseeing and managing everything related to your AI projects. It's where you organize, deploy, and monitor your AI models and resources. The deployment in particular, this is where you set up your AI models to be used in real applications. Uh, After playing around in the playground, deciding you want to use something for real, you come here to make it available for your apps or websites. Okay, so here is deployments. The model, think of this as your AI model library. It's where you keep track of all the different AI models you have access to or have created. Use it to choose the right model for your needs. And data file is your storage space for any data you need to use for or generate with AI models. If you have specific information that AI should learn from or use, you store it here. Then we have content filters right here. Sometimes you want to make sure AI doesn't generate inappropriate content. So content filters help you set rules about what the AI can and cannot say. And quotas, of course, this tells you how much you can use the AI, just like you have a data limit on your mobile phone or any other quotas that we have on the Azure subscription. So yes, This is a magical tool, a wonderful tool that will help every AI enthusiast who want to utilize Azure OpenAI for experimentation, testing, and of course for the production application. So in summary, Azure OpenAI Studio's Playground is your experimental lab for direct interaction with AI models, perfect for testing and exploration. And the management area is your command center for deploying and monitoring and managing AI models and resources, ensuring your AI applications run smoothly and efficiently in real world scenarios. I'm not creating it further because I'm hoping I would have the access to Azure OpenAI. I could create resource and work on the studio. I had my office one, but of course, this is I can't use it here. So let's wait for tomorrow. Otherwise, I need to just have some kind of workaround or arrangements because we cannot stop studying, right? Thank you for watching, and you guys have a wonderful day.